Malaga bench were probably infuriated about, because, as I say, I think Jesse could have continued with his run. And Miguel Torres put the arm up and a leg up to prevent him from going past. You just see there the Malaga coach not too happy, but Toni Kroos takes the free kick short to Luka Modric, midway inside the Malaga half. Out wide to that far side. And all the way back into Nacho. Kroos now. Played down the line to Carvajal. He's marshalled well by Ricardo Horta. And it's played all the way back. That's a very poor pass. Modric brings it under control, but only just. Malaga was set to break, and they would have been, or had, the greatest numbers as Madrid were pushed up for the free kick. And as Madrid had retreated.
And those are the little things that Luka Modric does, isn't it? He stretches out that leg and just holds up the counter-attack. So important for Zinedine Zidane, and that was a heavy collision there with Toni Kroos.
Referee just allowing play to go on. Modric once again in perfect position. Chassé rolls it into Kroos. Kroos now continuing. He's got Isco on the left, but he plays it behind him, and that'll give Malaga's players time to get back.
That's disappointing if you're Toni Kroos, because Isco's in tons of space. If that ball's just played out in front of him, he's got room to roam, with Cristiano crashing into the box.
I think it was Kovacic who actually committed that foul as Malaga were going forward, but no booking from the referee. He hasn't pulled it back. Although, to be fair, the ball hasn't stopped as yet. Carvajal now out wide to that far side. Jesse back to the fullback, who just looked to prod it at Miguel Torres. And Madrid do indeed win the corner, and the Malaga fans away to our left behind that goal, voicing their discontent yet again. Yeah, I'm happy with the fact Ronaldo was indeed offside, but Real Madrid do lead. We've got 2.5 minutes of normal time remaining before the break here in La Rosaleda. Malaga 0, Real Madrid 1. Can Madrid double that lead before the interval from this corner? Kroos is over Ronaldo and headed away by Charles or Carlos, depending on pronunciation. Kroos sends it in once more. It's again prodded out from the edge of the Malaga area. That's well taken down. Now Malaga can indeed get forward if they can pick up the pace a bit. Cop outside, picks up the ball and then plays it well to Juanpi. Charles is running through the middle, and the eyes on this side seems to be a bit stricter than the one who's watching the Real Madrid forward movements.
Let's have a look here. Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? Carvajal seems to be playing Juanpi on. And if that flag stays down, Madrid's in a world of hurt, because quick strike on the counter-attack right there.
And you just saw there Wellington giving Nacho something to remember, as they were both tussling in the area, and the Malaga central defender seemed to catch Nacho on the head with his legs. But
well, Wellington is not a guy you want marking you on a corner situation, or really in any situation, because he isn't too shy about dishing out some physical harm to, well, I don't think it's all within the limits of the game, I suppose.
I'd like to see a match-up between him and Pepe if he was playing for Real Madrid at the set-piece movements, but...
Are we talking about in football or in the boxing ring?
Indeed, a street fight. But anyway, Isco now moving down the left, plays it in fire. Kovacic looked to pick it up, but Ronaldo dropped back and to take command. Showing some good individual skill there to find Modric. Modric then lays it out wide to the advanced Carvajal on that far side. Jesse down the line. Ronaldo indeed this time is offside. And the crowd sarcastically 1.
Big hitting. Ostapenko wins the first game in 3 and edges back in front in this second set. 4-3. Latvian leads.
James. Oh, that is spectacular from James Rodriguez. You know, that is what we were saying about Real Madrid. They could pull something out of nothing. Italo in a narrow, small space. Vanega scores! Well, those last 2 or 3 minutes, you could just see it coming. Eva Vanega puts Sevilla in front with his 4th league goal of the season. Varas got a touch, but couldn't keep it out. Someone who has been effective has been Benzema, and here's Cristiano. That put my foot in my mouth, didn't it? Straight away, Cristiano hasn't scored against sides in the top half. 30 seconds later, well, he does 1-0 to Real Madrid. Benzema and Ronaldo carving Athletic apart. 20th goal of the season.
This shot over the wall again, and he got it just right this time. 1-0 to Football Club Barcelona, and it's that bit of quality that we were talking about earlier, changing the game, and that almost unsavable. I think Sergio got his hand to it, no way he could keep it out. Leo Messi's 13th La Liga goal, scored from a free kick. Barcelona 1, Celta 0. Steps up for this one, he tries the old Thierry Henry Robert Pires, and this time with some success. Something a little bit special to make it 4-1 to Football Club Barcelona. Luis Suarez puts it away.
Hello and welcome back to La Rosaleda. The team is just coming out for the second half of this Primera División encounter between Malaga and Real Madrid. They're separated by Cristiano Ronaldo's first half header. Question marks over how far offside exactly the Portuguese player was. My name's Lucas Brown. I was joined by Dana Lucas, and Malaga certainly impressed in the first half and unlucky to find themselves behind, perhaps.
Yeah, they really got to be feeling a bit bad that they went into halftime trailing, but coming out of this in this second half, they knew that they played with Real Madrid, and really they took this match to them. They were a bit unfortunate to go to the break down 1, but they can still salvage something out of this match. If not 3 points, why not 1 point? Because the way they came out and played in the first half certainly should dictate to them that they can come out and try to get something from Zinedine Zidane's men.
And of course, buoyed by the fact that Carlos Comini saved a penalty from Cristiano Ronaldo. I think Zinedine Zidane himself will have advised certainly his back four to cut out the self-imposed mistakes.
Well, you can call them self-imposed, but also Malaga is forcing them into it. I mean, to be fair to Malaga, they've put that pressure to sort of force Toni Kroos, even one of the Mr. Reliable in passing and keeping possession for Zinedine Zidane, was caught making almost a fatal error, and Juanpi just wasn't able to capitalize on the other end. But chances have not been short for Malaga. They had plenty of chances early in the first half.
Indeed, Juanpi having a one-on-one with Keylor Navas, and then Ricardo Horta should have done better with a shot on his left foot, but
Kopp had one too.
He did indeed. 3 decent chances and a couple of dodgy back passes from Sergio Ramos, along with the one from Kroos. But when Real Madrid have upped their game, they've certainly taken it to Malaga as well. And just before they got that opening goal, they suddenly seemed to realise they ought to pull their fingers out to coin a phrase. Just waiting for the referee there, Ignacio Iglesias Villanueva, to get the game underway. And Malaga go in search of what would be a very precious point. Real Madrid know that they've actually got something to hold on to here, and perhaps even build on now if they're going to stay in the title race. I was going to say that may be a bit extreme, but Jesse immediately on the attack and trying to take on Miguel Torres. Just loses footing slightly there. He manages to get the cross in, and it was cleared away.
Well, pre-game, Lucas, we talked about how a loss might just put Real Madrid out of a position to really contend for the title. I think a draw would do the same thing. Any drop points here this week, and this is really, really going to be a difficult task for Real Madrid to try to mount a comeback against the Barcelona team that has been so good. You don't need any identification of who the player is when Ronaldo gets the ball. You just got to listen to the jeers and the boo birds from the crowd here at La Rosaleda.
And Malaga are indeed a rare club in Spanish football, as they live in they're based in an area where there are plenty of British expats, and just under 3,000 British season ticket holders here at La Rosaleda. As evidenced by the flag away to our right in the far corner, and indeed the 3 lions on it. And they'll be.
So you feel right at home here at the Rosaleda, don't you?
Modric in midfield now. He's looking to get more and more influence in this encounter. It's just a steady ship in the centre there, and has been playing exceptionally well in recent weeks under Zinedine Zidane. Ronaldo knocked off the ball, doesn't complain about that one. The ball pumped forward, looking for the run of Juanpi, or rather Kopp. Charles almost got in there. Jesse up against Miguel Torres, perhaps a slight tug of the shirt. I think the referee did indeed spot that as Jesse made his way past a former Real Madrid left-back. There's only the slightest of tweaks, but just there you can see grabbed a handful, maybe a bit more blatant than I first thought. Any shirt pulling. I remember around 10 years ago, certain kit designers started making the kits skin tight, a bit like they do in rugby, so players can't grab. It didn't look so good on some of the more overweight supporters, though. Attempted cross there from Kopp, falls back to the feet of Ricardo Horta, out wide now to Miguel Torres. His wayward cross. I was going to say, no, it doesn't indeed stay in. Marcelo just ensuring it did go out. They're hoping for a better supply line from the fullbacks. Miguel Torres really should have done better there. DJ Kopp there doing exceptionally well to confuse Nacho as he brought it down out of the air.
Cup. He had a chance there as the ball came over the top. It was a difficult skill, though, just on the other end. Charles almost ran onto the loose ball right around the area, but still pressuring the back line of Real Madrid, this Malaga side, and it's been all Dewey Cup and Charles up top.
Carvajal looked like he was going to keep that in. He does indeed keep it in, but he lays it down the line for Miguel Torres to be able to pass it back to Kameni. Kameni has 2 Real Madrid players around him. Gets it back to Miguel Torres, who then decides to just take the route 1 option and thump the ball into midfield. Ronaldo thought he'd get there ahead of Roberto Rosales.
Kameni's been heroic, but he's got to be careful with those touches on the back passes, because that one he showed a bit too much to Isco, and he was lucky to avoid any danger.
Modric's pass made his way past Isco to Jesse. Jesse just bundled Wellington over there on the edge of the Malaga area. I'm sure Jesse agreed with that too much. Just the upper body there, I think. Just a pull on the arm, maybe.
Yeah, just a bit of a pull on the arm there. And Jesse struggled getting around defenders here coming out in this second half, and has been the
down, not looking too happy. The ball flicked out wide. Orta now has time and space to weigh up what he's going to do with the ball. He tries to play it all the way through. It flicked up off Nacho, and Keylor Navas with an instinctive tip over the bar.
Well, I don't think Keylor Navas knew what was going on there. He didn't know too much about it, and how unfortunate for Malaga. It came off Nacho, and I don't think Keylor Navas had any other choice but to save it. It was coming right down Main Street, and wow, great reactions from the Costa Rican.
I think if Nacho hadn't got his knee onto that, it was a fairly comfortable catch for Navas. The fact that it took the deflection made it much more difficult for the Real Madrid keeper. Unmarked to the back post, Wellington. Nacho now down in the area. Looks like he took a blow to the side of his face. I thought Wellington might even keep that deep corner in, is it? He was completely unmarked.
Yeah, Madrid might have been in trouble had it just dropped down into the grasp of Wellington, because he was in plenty of space. Let's have a look. Albentosa sets the basketball pick on Nacho, and you've got to be careful right there, Albentosa.
I can understand that it was an illegal move, but quite how hard the arm or the hand in the face actually was. Laid down like he'd been punched by Mike Tyson for a while there, but he's back on his feet now, the Real Madrid central defender. Sergio Ramos pausing, waiting perhaps for his keeper, and then the ball didn't quite have the legs to reach Navas, and Ramos having to just thump it across midfield. Picked up by Orta into the centre now. Recio doing well to escape the attentions of both Isco and Modric.
It's better by Malaga, working the ball around.
Deep cross this time, it's over the head of everybody. Carvajal does have a battle on his hands to get to the ball before Recio. Peels all around, but it came off Recio, and it will be a Real Madrid throw-in way down to our left.
Down a goal, Malaga have been playing well, but you've got to remember this is a team that struggles mightily to score goals. Only 21 in 24 match days coming in, and well, you've got to find.
The supporters not too happy there as Carvajal's original throw just rolled along the touchline. The referee asked for it to be retaken. Some of the fans thought it had entered the pitch and then gone back out, but now they're getting the boo, as you mentioned, and he's just muscled off the ball. Now having another match up with Albentosa.
Have a look at Raul Albentosa.
Goes over. That referee exactly saying, you two just get on with it, come on. There's a slight shake of hands and a wry smile from Ronaldo there, and I think the referee did well not to get involved, because nothing too serious.
Yeah, that's something that the two can just work out on their own. You see right here, there's just a bit of,
so that was
a bit of a tangle, we can call it.
Albentosa just threw himself to the ground for a big man. I mean,
well, Cristiano grabs him by the back of the neck. It wasn't anything that was too forceful to ground, but Albentosa trying to draw the attention of the referee.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Iglesias Villanueva did well just to wave at them and say, come on now.
I think so too, yeah.
Behave yourself.
No need to make a bigger deal of it than it really is, and not the first time Albentosa and Ronaldo have been in a bit of a tussle.
Isco there just losing out to Recio and Ignacio Camacho. And the ball played out wide now.
Here's the danger man.
Yeah, and he's brought down from behind there by
It's a call, isn't it, from the man in the middle? It seemed pretty clear, and Juanpi He attracts a lot of attention, doesn't he? Kovacic just barging in from behind, and this is a dangerous area to have a free kick. You can whip this one in, and well, we've seen Keylor Navas already struggle with one whipped in from a similar area on the opposite end of the pitch.
I think it will be Roberto Rosales, the right back, who will take this. And if he does, then no, indeed he's left it, and it will be the left footer who will take the in-swinger, which is always far more dangerous from these positions. It's low.
Disappointing there, just from Rosales. Oh, that's Juanpi, actually.
It's Juanpi. Just hit Cruz in the centre, Modric out, filling in the full-back role, and the Croatian just unable to keep it in, but a good tackle there, tracking back. He's improving his defensive displays as well as impressing going forward with some of his passing. Now the cross goes in once again, just as Malaga's last couple of centres over the head of everybody. I think the lines on that far side flagging the ball went out for a goal kick behind Keylor Navas' net. It certainly was a deep curling cross. There it is.
Came all the way back into play too. Difficult to really put into a dangerous area when you get so much on it. Nacho, Wellington, well, they're not too shy to put the body on the line, and you see right there, yet again, another tangling of the bodies between Nacho and Wellington.
Cruz just having enough time to chest that down and get it out well to Marcelo, who's just clipped. And it will be indeed a yellow card that is shown to Ignacio Camacho. So he becomes the third Malaga player on a yellow card, along with Miguel Torres and Wellington.
That's a cheap yellow card, I believe. I don't really know if it's to deserve it either. Just gets a little nick of Marcelo. He gets a bit more than that, doesn't he? So both it's a clumsy challenge.
Miguel Torres and Camacho will now miss the game against Real Sociedad. Marcelo, the only player to have been booked for Real Madrid as yet. As we mentioned before, Sergio Ramos and Carvajal would miss the game against Atletico. Ronaldo fires one in. Kameni down well to his left and catches that. A decent effort, made the space himself, Ronaldo, but a training ground catch in the end, almost for Kameni.
Well, he doesn't need too much space to put a firecracker at goal, and that one certainly was, with the left foot on top of it, and Kameni was, well, he was prepared.
He wasn't he beaten at his near post, the former Espanyol #1. Horta looking for space. Real Madrid players get round, and Cruz and Modric just closing in. Marcelo has to get rid of this before Charles gets there. And the Malaga striker takes the legs of the Brazilian. Slightly sore, but he's back up quite quickly, and no hard feelings. Pat on the chest there from the Real Madrid fullback. Wide to this right-hand side. Carvajal into the path of Jesse. And once again, it's been an interesting duel between Jesse and, as we said, the former Real Madrid fullback Miguel Torres.
Yeah, Torres seems to have gotten the best of him so far. He's been good in defense, but Jesse, he's full of flicks and tricks, and he's got to be careful, Miguel Torres, because he's on an early yellow card from the first half, and well, Malaga do not need any more obstacles in their comeback bid here this afternoon.
We just saw the replay there, Ronaldo taking out 2 defenders to get that shot in.
Oh, strong defending there.
So this time he wasn't even able to take out one as he was shoved over. He's backtracking now, though, the Portuguese star, but can't stop the ball going through to Kopp, and it's played on to Charles, but he's unable to bring it down before it's cleared. And Wellington finds Albin Tossa.
We talked about Kopp just playing that providing role for Charles. He's been doing a great job here so far. I mean, he's really got his own chances. He's created his own chances, but a couple of times he's put in Charles, and Charles just hasn't been able to make that final touch. But decent performance from Kopp so far.
Carvajal easing past Ricardo Horta, finding Jesse. Jesse looking to get it across the far post where Ronaldo is closing in, but Miguel Torres shuts him down. Jesse, as we said, looking to impress. Bale is out, and of course Benzema as well. He's been able to really make his mark in this encounter as yet, the Real Madrid youth team product. There'll be a corner now for the visitors after that latest effort, however. Played in the centre, nodded away. The Malaga players then close Kovacic down. then try and break, and they do well to find Kopp, but he's again the pressure which Malaga have displayed. Real Madrid now making part of their game. Isco out wide this time. Jesse taking up the central role. Indeed, Jesse offside, or Ronaldo indeed offside as the ball was played in.
Yeah, just a quick turn of events there in the middle of the park that springs in Isco, and Ronaldo couldn't hold his run. He's used to making those runs into the box a bit more from the side than right through the heart of the box, and just unable to judge it on that instance.
And that's the third time Ronaldo has been caught offside in this encounter, and of course the one that was crucially missed led to the only goal of the game so far, as we are a minute away from the hour mark, and Malaga looking to find some space, and Kopp there, the inside of the right foot, looking for that top corner. Got too much on it, and it curled high and wide of Navas's far post.
Well, Kopp's got to put this one on target, doesn't he? He's got that back post screaming his name, and he got to put that one on target. In the first half, he had a chance. It was shut out by Navas, but this one, you got to put on frame to give yourself a chance. Kopp's still stuck on 2 goals, and well, we talked about him playing that supporting role, but sometimes you got to finish it off, put the dagger ball in yourself.
Just too heavy with his touch. The ball was spinning, and it's across now. Isco may well have a chance, and Isco takes aim. That's great defending there from Miguel Torres to put the block in. Threw himself in front of that shot by the former Malaga midfielder.
He's been spectacular today, Torres, barring the yellow card. Really has been closing out things over here on the left side of the fence.
Nacho being forced to ensure that was rolling out by Kopp, and now we will see a change with Pablo set to come on for Malaga. First change of the game. We'll see Roberto Rosales withdrawn. Oh, indeed.
Oh, it's Jesse.
Change of both sides, it does appear, of course.
This will be interesting. Lucas Vazquez, another guy who doesn't get a lot of time to impress, a lot of time to shine in front of Zinedine Zidane. So we'll have to make his presence felt here, and well, he could do so just like Jesse did in the middle of the week against Roma in Champions League.
Yes, I was going to be surprised if indeed Roberto Rosales was taken off, but then I thought it was the Malaga numbers that were being held up, but they seem to have just held off on making their change. But Jesse given his chance, given an hour, and just although he certainly looked to make his mark, may well feel he should have done a bit more. Ball headed back comfortably by Carvajal to Navas, and now rolled out to the club captain Sergio Ramos.
One thing I'd like to see a bit more of, we saw it in the first half, Juanpi just filling into that lane when Marcelo pushes up, Malaga takes the ball back, and Marcelo, he does love to push up so much. It opens up space in the back, and that's where Juanpi thrives.
Malaga back to 10 men, or back to 11 men. He gets off his feet in the midfield. Juanpi now, that's a good 1-2, brought down well, and the tackle comes in from Sergio Ramos. He looks to lob the keeper there. It would take an awful lot to lob Keylor Navas.
I was just wondering if Rosales goes down. There was a bit of contact. You definitely put the referee in an awkward position if you make him make that decision. And
a strong run forward from Lucas Vazquez, and he gets the ball back from Ronaldo, putting himself about. Zidane's obviously advised him to get on there and make himself busy, or rather than advise, ordered him. And Vazquez looking to make an impact. Indeed, he doesn't get too many chances in the league with Real Madrid, giving the firm positions that the BBC have. Bale, Benzema and Cristiano Ronaldo in the Real Madrid team when they are all fit. Play that wide to Carvajal, into Modric. Ronaldo staying put for the moment. Lucas Vazquez again making himself busy and making himself available for the cross, but Carvajal sends it over and just headed wide by Isco on that far post. Too high for Ronaldo.
well, he's not the most imposing of figures, Isco, but he skies up for it here, just leaps over Rosales, and had a chance.
Now indeed the change is made. It is Horta that goes off and Pablo Fornals that comes on. The Malaga youth team product. Just see the first change of the game. The 19-year-old Spent 5 years in Villarreal's youth team and then joined Castellón. Was picked up by Malaga in 2012. Made his debut for the team on the first team last year. That's across to the centre. Sergio Ramos having to deal with it, and the second bite of the cherry does get it away to Kovacic.
Juanpi crashing into that far post. Sergio Ramos judging it, backing up, and just getting that vital intervention to keep Juanpi from having a free lane a goal.
Real Madrid certainly looking far more fluid now. Isco rolls it back into the centre. Lucas Vázquez unable to control it.
Camacho just doing enough. There was plenty of bodies in the box, and Isco did a good job to pinpoint the pass to try to find Lucas Vázquez back in the middle around the penalty spot.
Malaga look like they're struggling somewhat to keep up with the high-paced pressing game they employed throughout the first half, and Madrid enjoying them space that they've been afforded. Marcelo twisting and turning, getting past Juanpi, but not past the centre of defence.
And that's the game you play when you want to push up and you want to push those numbers, really make it difficult for the defence. You have to take advantage of that time and those mistakes made early on, because later it wears on you. Your legs get a bit heavier, and that allows some space on the other end. And now this is where we can look for Madrid to maybe take advantage, find some openings. And Cristiano, you know, if you leave him open for a second, he can punish you.
Modric becoming more and more influential in the midfield, finding more and more space. But indeed, if you're going to play that high pressing game, then the fitness levels have to match it, such as Diego Simeone has Atletico playing, and Jurgen Klopp and Mauricio Pochettino, both famous for their fitness regimes in English football, or Klopp perhaps more so with Dortmund. Is introducing the fitness side to Liverpool. Malaga trying the same tactics, but see how many heavy legs there are out by the end of this game as Juanpi picks it up. He's got Modric in front of him, sidesteps the Croatian into the feet of Kopp, continues his run. It drops to the substitute Fornals, who shows great ability and keeps going, and then gets the shot in, and only the foot of Sergio Ramos sends it away. I think Navas probably would have had that covered, but that's great play by the 19-year-old.
Well, that's the bit of gas that this fire needed for Malaga, isn't it? Brilliant stuff from the youngster, wiggling around a couple of defenders, and well, really sparking some excitement into this Rosaleda right now. He's got 25 minutes to try to create some more magic.
Yeah, plenty of time for either side to get another goal. That one's headed well away into midfield, but Malaga do pick it up with Rosales, who sends it back out wide and finds Recio, so he's very good control. Now to the Wellington turns provider of the far post, and Malaga are level! And of all players, it's Albentosa who stayed up for the corner, and he buried it with a superb finish. Wellington the provider.
Exactly, Wellington the provider, the two center backs pushing up for Malaga. They've played so well on defense, but how about having to go upfield, and Albentosa tucks it home, just like Charles taught him.
Raul Albentosa, who's on loan from English Championship side Derby County, becomes a hero of La Rosaleda. Good play there from Recio, feeds Wellington, and then that cross was allowed to find its way through to the far post, evaded everybody, and no one was marking Albentosa. You can see the arms of the Real Madrid players go up in.
Marcelo just lost track. It was Kopp in the middle, and Albentosa was the one who was a bit fortunate in loads of space, and he finishes it off. One touch, great stuff from the big Spaniard.
And just as I thought Malaga may well be flagging, Real Madrid seem to be getting more fluidity into their game, and perhaps them being able to push forward left space at the back. But that defending has been in evidence for quite a lot of the game for Real Madrid. It hasn't been their strongest display at the back, and the absence of Rafael Varane. I'm not blaming Nacho, as I said in the first half, but as we say, an unsettled back four, and they really didn't look calm from the get-go here, Real Madrid. But it's 1-1, game on, and 22.5 minutes to try and find a winner in this encounter.
And it's a justified scoreline, isn't it? 1-1, we're all equal, and it's been a very level match so far. Now Madrid just have to find those legs. They've got to find, we talked about it, they're in the same sort of situation, Malaga, where they do still have those heavy legs. A goal, though, can lighten the load a little bit.
Certainly can. And they'll be sitting back now. They've got what they wanted. They wanted the goal to give themselves a platform to build on. And as you say, I think the strikers would have looked at their central defenders and thought, hang on a minute, that's our job. And there may well be now Kopp and Charles will be looking, but Real Madrid can never be counted out, of course, with the incredible talent they've got in their side.
Well, for the next 22 minutes, the title is on the line for Real Madrid. I mean, if they drop points here, you can basically say it's over.
Carvajal shows very poor control and allows Fornals just to get a foot in and thump the ball out. Yeah, if they draw here, they'll be 9 points behind. And of course, they've got the Madrid derby next week against Atletico, and then they travel up to Catalonia, to Camp Nou, on April the 2nd to face Barca. By that stage, they may well be so far behind that they'll only have pride to play for. But it is a funny old season. Barca may well be due a drop in form if one of their three main strikers gets injured. But Malaga back on the attack now, out wide to Charles. He's got Juanpi and Kopp to aim for. Instead, he just hits the figure of Sergio Ramos, who is directly in front of him. Kovacic doing exceptionally well to get out there and find Lucas Vázquez, who makes strides. Not much support. He had a look up. Ronaldo's at the furthest point he could be. Isco is struggling to make up ground. Now Kovacic will run at the area and look for some help. Isco was indeed offside. He does flick it round Carlos Kameni, but it won't count. And the odd whistle, certainly not as many as Ronaldo receives.
And it's one of the first times we see one of those runs behind the defense, as you just notice the absence of a striker for Real Madrid right now, and they're really struggling, and Albentosa just puts that chokehold a little bit tighter around the necks of Real Madrid.
Isco, and his full name is Francisco Ramon Alcorcon Suarez, so we will stick to Isco.
Yeah, that sounds a bit more efficient.
Can't even pronounce it the first time I've asked him, but I'm getting Roman and Ramon mixed up. A booking there for Luka Modric. I was just going to consider, I know Messi was missing for a couple of months when Barca began the season, was out till late October, early November. Perhaps Neymar and Luis Suarez were able to cope, but of course Madrid without two of their main three, and how Barca would cope if either Messi, Neymar or Suarez were asked to just play up front along with two fill-in players perhaps. So Madrid not having the luckiest season with injuries, but they're still in this and could still get the 3 points and close the gap to 7, which would still give them some confidence. As Zinedine Zidane said, he's not giving up on the league.
Well, you can't do that, and you know, Barcelona, it's a long season, like you said. There's still 14 match days in the campaign remaining, and you never know what can happen. We've seen some pretty dramatic things where it seemed as though the league was done and dusted, and then a miraculous comeback in the last few weeks. So you don't want to call it over just yet.
Well, as you mentioned as well, of course, if two of the main strikers of Barca out, and perhaps Piqué, or that may well see or be comparable to maybe what Madrid are going through here in the absence of so many first-team players, although James, of course, on the bench through Zidane's choice rather than through any injury. Malaga clear their lines well there. Recio into midfield, good tackle from Ramos, gets Madrid back on the front foot. Kovacic out wide, Marcelo breaking into the area, and he plays all the way across the far post, and just beyond the run of Isco. Wellington decided not to touch it, which was probably the best thing, and Isco wasn't close enough to make any connection. And a warning for Malaga that if they push up too high and look for that winning goal, there is always the danger of being caught out at the back by Real Madrid.
Well, he does like to play that providing role, doesn't he, Marcelo? But this time he goes for goal, and it's just a bit off. Isco had a chance at it, but it was too far out in front of the former Malaga man.
Maybe Madrid will need a moment of magic once again, like they got in Granada when that man there, Luka Modric, scored that stunning goal to clinch the points. May well take a moment of magic from either side to find a third goal in this game, and I think perhaps not the most dangerous thing to say, or the risky thing to say. The next goal will indeed win this game. Cruz in the midfield, Spreads the play out wide to Lucas Vázquez. Modric picks it up and begins to consider his options, looking for willing runners. Doesn't find anything, instead goes back to Cruz, who switches the play out to Marcelo, who's completely unmarked, but quickly closed down, of course, by Rosales.
When's the last time we said Ronaldo's name?
But he's on the edge of the penalty there, being marked by Miguel Torres. The last time was when he had that shot, which he created for himself superbly.
Oof. It's just been a bit of a footing problem here in Malaga. A couple other players have almost lost their feet. Nacho was the latest one right there, and Charles was crashing down on him. You need to be a bit vigilant.
Here is Ronaldo, who asked where he was, but he's unable to control it. The boos and the jeers go up from the home crowd.
Yeah, we hadn't heard the boos or the jeers in quite a while, and well, we'll be happy that that possession that Ronaldo had was just momentary.
Cop closing in there, and Sergio Ramos almost inviting the foul, knew that the striker was going to do and was ready for the contact. An experienced campaigner, Sergio Ramos, knew how to play his way out of that tight corner, and now another change. And a round of applause for Isco as he makes his way off the field. No hard feelings from the home supporters. Now there's no danger of him, of course, scoring. And it will indeed be James who comes on. Not a bad substitution to be able to make, to bring on a Colombian international.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking when we were talking about the depth of the injury situation of Real Madrid.
Malaga on the attack once more, into the head, and Keylor Navas having to make a superb save from Charles. A fantastic move down the right from Malaga.
How about the finishing touch by Charles? It's not an easy technique to steer that one on frame, and he does it not only with the direction but also the pace. It's brilliant stuff, and Keylor Navas really has got to work to push that one over the bar.
It was a great cross from Roberto Rosales as well.
Rosales, the leading assist man on Malaga. He's got 4 on the year.
Corner now, swung in deep to the far post. It's ahead of Charles, and another corner came off the back of Dani Carvajal. Keylor Navas just ensuring everybody's marked on this occasion after Wellington and Albentosa combined for that equaliser. That's played to the far post as well, and it was Wellington who was up and calls and appeals for a corner, but the linesman indeed and the referee decide that came off a Malaga player last.
Was it Carvajal or was it Nacho right here? The man who's been called into question, Nacho, has really delivered, as Wellington seemed to have a beat on it, and that one was destined to the back of the net if the utility center back didn't step in the way.
It was an impressive clearance, and then the last touch came off the head of Ignacio Camacho. Malaga, though, beginning to lift the ball forward. Fornals just nods it down. Kopp thought about shooting and decided to clip it through. Fornals picks it up once more, gets it out to that far side. Rosales onto the feet of Juanpi. Juanpi and Fornals. Modric just in there, just nicking the ball away. Does it quietly without any fuss, Modric, doesn't he? Those kind of options. Does superbly well now as Carvajal. He's got Lucas Vázquez outside him. Ronaldo with his back to the ball, making his way into the centre, knowing it was going out wide. Making his way to the far post behind 5 Malaga players. It would have taken something to pick out the Portuguese player from there.
It's just gotten a bit too individualistic at the moment for Real Madrid. Every time they try to push the ball, it always seems to be a very direct route instead of passing the ball around right now. Madrid have not found success that way, and well, now it's just reaching an arm out there, and
quite clearly a handball. A few whistles from the crowd, but no doubts that was indeed. And the ball, Real Madrid utilising the flanks. Marcelo perhaps more successful, having more success down the left than either Carvajal or Lucas Vázquez, indeed Jesse before them, had down this side. But it's not a bad cross in the centre, but far too deep. It does find Marcelo. Ronaldo, the only man in and around the area, but he's beaten to the ball by Albentosa. Modric just manages to get a toe onto it and knock it down for Sergio Ramos before Charles could bring it under control. James as well to find Marcelo. Tries a bit of showboating the cross though. from the Colombian. All too easy for Kameni to come and claim.
That was a tame cross, wasn't it, from James? You want to whip that one in there. Instead, he put some air under, and Kameni is too good of a goalkeeper to be playing those balls in and expect anything to come on the other end.
Yeah, all too inviting for the Malaga custodian. Real Madrid back in possession again, being pressed by Malaga. They haven't given up on that pressing game. Predictions that their legs might well go, not quite coming to fruition, not quite the same force as they were doing it, but certainly still making Madrid work their way out. Modric now, though, turns and feeds Ronaldo. Ronaldo on the right looks to take this first time and strikes it with the top of the laces and way off target from the Real Madrid star.
Well, Wellington, he's very clever here as he just puts a shoulder in to put Cristiano off very, very slightly, but it's enough to send the shot off wide, and that is experienced veteran defending right there from a man who's been around the block.
I think Ronaldo went for power. You can see him try and strike it with the top of the boot when perhaps going across the keeper to the far corner may have been the better bet. Nevertheless, another warning for Malaga, even though Ronaldo hasn't been as heavily involved as perhaps he can be. He's still very much the player to keep an eye on, because he can win games with an individual masterstroke. Fornal's doing well, doesn't spot Charles down the left, doesn't release the ball soon enough, and he's tackled the calls for a foul. Albin Tosse will shield the pass away from Kovacic and get it back to Wellington. Wellington clips it out wide to Fornals. His header slightly too deep there for Camacho to control. Cruz just knocked off his feet. Kovacic once more. To the feet of Ronaldo out to James, and now Marcelo has time and space to judge his next move. All the way into the midfield. Find Toni Cruz. No chance of taking a shot on from that distance. Carvajal looking to deliver. It's deflected up and off Miguel Torres' leg and away by Camacho. Madrid pick up possession once again and continue applying pressure to the Malaga area. And there, the ball just bobbled up. Carvajal in an unusually high attacking position.
Yeah, we talked about the loose pitch, the loose soil on the pitch right now, and you see right there, just popping up.
And the veteran striker Roque Santa Cruz about to come on for Malaga.
Well, Javi Gracia, he's not content with the point. He's going to come out and go for these 3 points. Jacob, he had a few opportunities in this match, but he did well to pair up with Charles. He's just unable to find any joy in terms of goal-scoring opportunities.
He certainly will be used as a target man. Roque Santa Cruz, now 34 years of age. He'll be put up front to try and bring the ball down exactly like that and bring it under control and just lay it off and then get in the area and probably go up against Nacho. And there his first chance. Nacho winning that one, but the second ball falls to Juanpe. And Toni Cruz put his foot up, the referee not impressed, and he was close by. The home supporters not impressed by the fact no foul was given. And now the Malaga players all saying put the ball out, and Marcelo, under some pressure from fans and players alike, does. Humphrey still down on the edge of the area, and Keylor Navas just making sure the youngster is okay.
Well, you always get yourself into a bit of trouble when you wind up like that and the ball's bobbling around in the air. Cruz, I don't think is very guilty in the act.
No, certainly no foul. I think the fact the knee probably hit with, and just overextended perhaps. No, Cruz comfortably won the ball, and it was almost Juanpi that kicked the German rather than any foul, but he seems to be all right. And just looking at Roque Santa Cruz, he's on loan with Malaga from Cruz Azul, who he joined from Malaga indeed, but a familiar face to fans of both German and British football. He had a long spell with Bayern Munich. He was there for 8 seasons and played well over 150 games for the German Giants before signing for Blackburn Rovers, and then had a 4-year stint on the books of Manchester City, but most of that time was spent out on loan back to Blackburn with Betis, and indeed here at La Rosaleda for his first stint with Malaga. Now 34, 1.91 m. Ball out to Ronaldo, but his first touch takes him wide. He brought that down close to his body, may well have been able to fire another shot goalwards. Modric Again looking for options. Carvajal out on the right, closed down quickly. The cross comes in. Modric won't win that airily, then takes it almost off the foot of Ronaldo. Modric infuriated. He thought he was tripped there. He wriggles about on the floor before getting up. The referee not interested. James and Marcelo play on the left. Charles back doing defensive duty and putting in a fantastic tackle in that far corner.
That's the leading goal scorer on this Malaga team, and he's no stranger doing his donkey work back in his own defensive third. And Modric goes down a bit cheaply there.
He felt his left foot was just touched as he made his way along the edge of the area, but that would have taken an awful lot. No foul there either, says the referee, so letting quite a bit go. Fornals gets it clear, and now Malaga on the break, and it's Roque Santa Cruz, the veteran striker, looking to use his experience. His pass out wide to Fornals is a poor one. He's not yet into the game, but he gets a round of applause for intent. That really was not something that man there would have thought that his substitute would go on and provide. Probably looking for far more input. As Malaga do indeed feel they could probably win this encounter and cause something of an upset. Juanpi unable to bring it down before Marcelo blocks it, and then Sergio Ramos there before Roque Santa Cruz. James now has got both Ronaldo and Lucas Vázquez. Ronaldo unable to control it. He's all the way out here on the right. He's only really got one option and gives it to Lucas Vázquez. Madrid building. James spreads it across to Kovacic once more. It's flicked back in for James. It looked like Albentosa kicked Wellington in the face himself there. I was going to say James was never likely to win that in the air, but the two central defenders connected themselves.
Well, a bit of friendly fire, but Malaga, you can see, just get him on the, got him on the eyebrow, and you can see a little scar there. Just a bit of tread marks left by Albentosa on the face of Wellington. And well, this may not be the worst thing for Malaga, just to be able to take some time off the clock. And Wellington, he's a tough guy. He'll be able to come back from this, I think.
Indeed. 5 minutes of normal time remaining, and probably 3 or 4 minutes added on, given this injury to add to the other couple of stoppages we've had in this half. Still Malaga 1, Real Madrid 1, as both the doctor and the physio have a chat with the referee, Mr. Iglesias Villanueva. See if Wellington will indeed be able to continue on a few refreshments, while Modric and Kameni have a few words on the edge of the area there.
And you just see Zinedine Zidane, some blood has been drawn there from Wellington, right under the eyebrow, and you just see Zinedine Zidane right there. He walked into an easy schedule, but this is really the first bit of, you know, a speed bump in the road, perhaps. And if they lose this one here or they drop points, then, you know, the dream comeback for Zinedine Zidane at the helm of Real Madrid just could get to be a bit more, that tide could just turn a bit more. And, well, he may not see things so easily. He's a golden boy in the media right now for the Madrid papers, but if things go wrong, well, they can turn on even the greatest of legends in the club's history.
When the 4 home games in the league that Zidane has been in charge for, Real Madrid have scored 20 times, so no problems at the Bernabeu, but away from home, a 1-1 draw against Real Betis wasn't warmly received by especially the 2 main Spanish sports papers here, De Marca and AS, where questions were asked over the tactics and perhaps some of the decisions by the new Madrid coach. Still time to win it here now, though, just as they did against Granada when Luka Modric got that stunning goal. And that cross just hitting Albentosa, I think it was, full in the face. Oh, Albentosa, sorry, Rosales rather. I knew I was looking at. James lined that up.
Square in the face, and Rosales just braces for impact, doesn't he?
Does indeed. There's just been a player in England who's had to retire after receiving a ball in the temple. Stoke City player who can't shake off the concussion a year later. Headed away, and Marcelo just catching a Juanpi there, who's been in the wars in the last few minutes after overextending the knee. Now gets one at the top of the leg. Carvajal put on the tackle. That's a great bit of defensive work from the substitute Roque Santa Cruz, and Sergio Ramos was up with Ronaldo. Ronaldo looks furious there, and the boos go up. Sergio Ramos almost tackled his own man. He didn't look too pleased about that, Ronaldo. I think he thought it was his for the taking.
Yeah, you know, just a bit of confusion. Those are the two best for Madrid in the air, and they both get into a bit of a tussle, and it's a friendly fire yet again from Madrid, and that was a real goal-scoring chance late in this match.
I think the one player that Ronaldo looks up and decides not to argue with in the Real Madrid side is Sergio Ramos. Calls for offside. Kovacic, indeed, in an advanced position on that occasion.
Still struggling to find his role in this team. Even today, he hasn't been too productive, neither in the defense nor attack. And Kovacic has been disappointing in his first year with Los Blancos.
Many saying he was actually coming into the side in place of James, but James Rodriguez and Kovacic on the field. And it's Juanpi that makes way for Malaga.
Well, he was very creative in the first half, Juanpi, and created a lot of chances.
He did, but in the last few minutes, he had the, as you say, the knock when he connected with Toni Kroos, and he just got another slight nick, and it will be the veteran Duda who comes on. Duda, a very popular figure, the club captain, even not the captain on the field. Spent 5 years here at Malaga between 2001 and 2006 before returning to the club in 2008 on loan, making the move permanently a year later, but had great success as well during 3 seasons with Sevilla, but didn't play too many times for them. Or 2 seasons rather, he was actually playing for them, but he's on the field now and can create. Perhaps the idea is to link him up with the head of Roque Santa Cruz going forward, but Malaga will have to get on the ball once more in these remaining moments. We're close to the 19. See how many minutes Mr. Iglesias Villanueva adds on. I predict around 4. So given the stoppages and a number of substitutions made. Carvajal now. Real Madrid eagerly looking for an opening to try and win this game. Lucas Vázquez given something to chase, and he does indeed reach it and gets it back into the area. It's hooked away by Ignacio Camacho to midfield, beaten to the ball there, Charles, in these 4 minutes.
And who did Madrid have in the box right there? It was Cristiano and Marcelo, their left back. It's just not enough up top for Madrid, and it seems like the players that they're missing, the other players who are filling in, don't know how to fill in that role and provide support up top.
Zidane looks like he may well have work to do on his away day tactics. I said the snucker win against Granada. Can be argued whether they played better in the Betis game, but nevertheless they still came away with a point. Adan that day putting in a heroic performance in goal just down the road here. Duda on the floor. Malaga now looking on the other side with the score now. That would be the killer blow. It's Camacho in the corner, marked by Marcelo, perhaps looking for the corner. Indeed, he wins a free kick, clumsily given away by Marcelo.
And it's smart by Camacho. I mean, just dribble into the corner, hope that you get either a corner kick or a free kick. And, well, it's not what Zinedine Zidane wanted to see on the touchline, and he knows he's going to hear the critics from the media. It's been smooth sailing so far, but this could be just a title that's slipping out of the grasp of Real Madrid if they drop points here today in La Rosaleda.
They won't be too happy with Marcelo for giving the free kick away, and as I said, Duda can deliver a ball. Duda flicks it in. It's met somewhat clumsily by the head of Camacho, and Keylor Navas will just come and pick the ball up, and that was a good opportunity for Malaga, which was, I think, not much doubt we can describe that as wasted, as Ronaldo sets off. He takes a knock but stays on his feet. The ball played in by Marcelo, cleared by Recio, and then Roberto Rosales looks to try something far too fancy. Marcelo picks it back up easily.
Yeah, not the time for that for Rosales.
Indeed, no, he should have just put that upfield and got the ball clear. Marcelo then sends it across. James on the volley! And that would have been a spectacular way to win this game. In the end, it was straight down the throat of Carlos Kameni, but he caught it well there, the Colombian international.
Well, Kameni gets a bit fortunate, comes right down Main Street, doesn't it? And James Rodriguez got all of it.
He would have been able to state a case legitimately for getting into the starting 11, but now some defending to do as Duda gets on the ball once more. His pass is a second consecutive time, a poor one, doesn't get it over Nacho, and again a good chance for Malaga goes begging. Perhaps their last attack of the game. As Madrid now moving to midfield with Modric. Forced to turn and find Carvajal on this near side. He's got Lucas Vázquez ahead of him. Madrid, or rather James, Vázquez was further down the line. James makes his way into midfield. He was thinking about a shot there. Cruz picks up the ball and rolls it out wide for Lucas Vázquez. This is their last chance. Well blocked by Miguel Torres once more. Lucas Vázquez does get it in, and certainly a foul. Sergio Ramos.
Well, it's obvious there from Ramos, who just climbs the back of Albentosa. Lucas Vázquez was closed out of options in that corner.
Almost piggyback there, wasn't it, the way he got up and
it's been great. Albentosa and Wellington really gone over and beyond the two in the middle, really stymieing Cristiano Ronaldo and whoever's been in support, whether it be Jesse, Lucas Vázquez, James or Isco.
There'll certainly be two sets of supporters in Spanish football, and who are happy with this will be the Malaga fans.
Adios a la Liga is the chant right now around the Rosaleda.
Exactly what I was going to comment on, the fact that the Malaga fans will be goodbye to the league, and the Barca fans will no doubt be celebrating that. 2 points dropped, and the curse of the Champions League means now that Real Madrid have dropped 10 points from a possible 21 after Champions League outings, and they've struck again. But a fair result overall, perhaps. I think Malaga certainly would have deserved a share of the spoils, and they may even argue they should have won given how far offside